The Council of the Twelve, April 29, 2014. By Kathy Vick. Deeply awake entangled, turn the light towards self. Contacts, Kathy Vick at Tumblr. Deeply awake at Tumblr. Lightworkers.org, MacArthur. This day we wish to speak to you of the great love we know for you. This may seem a subject of simple glad tidings, but nothing could be farther from the truth. We are gratified and honored that you have chosen to join us this day, as although ever present, we cannot be appreciated easily without intent. Your intent, your focus and mysteriously innate knowing that there is more, this drives you to a place in which we can have a nice little discussion about your worth and place. The channel understands it is no accident she finds herself stepping into her cabin next to our Sequoia, on this, a Tuesday, a work day, the last of 3 events which sealed something for her she had long planned to come to understand at this time. No accident, and yet, is it not a series of simple decisions? Has it not ever been a series of simple decisions, for each of you? Day to day, in the moment, each make decisions, have thoughts, hunches, moving them here and there, if heeded. And each thinks, to lesser or greater degrees, that this is all somehow random, that there is no plan afoot, and we wish to dispel such thinking this day, with your ever-grand permission. The truth of it is, many of you came in with triggers within your matrix, so to speak, the overall arc of events, in accordance with the all. We say to you that many people meet others who take on great significance in their personal and collective evolution, and do not understand that the intense attraction held for someone which makes no sense at all. Can you not see, feel, know, when you have such an experience, that you are seeing someone you know very well? We give the image of you walking down the high street. To be sure, there is noise and color, movement and gaiety, as well as those who carry the frequency of worry and doubt, shrouding their light, muddying, and yet, it is within a media of divinity, and divine harmony, in which all dance and act, sing and speak, cry and mourn, laugh and hug. It is not the experiences of one individual which sets the tone for this stretch of high street pavement we find ourselves upon, but the collective. And yet, we must tell you that by now some of you are identifying more with the medium than the events, which is to say, more simply, you are becoming ever more aware that this media in which all is experienced can indeed be appreciated, sensed, even explored and talked to. You understand, many of you, that the absolutely enthralling ride your physical vehicle, and by extension, your consciousness, is on, has its origins beyond that which is seen, understood or even, we say, intuited. And this, of course, is capsulized in such thoughts of insignificance one hears about from visitors to the ocean, a high mountain, and while stargazing. And yet, what is coming into sharper and sharper focus is that this interpretation of self in relation to the media in which this mysterious self functions, this self who can and does hold varied and strong opinions about all its senses, this self is the media, having a think, a walk, a smoke, a laugh. And now we come to a subject which is perhaps well worn, but still often misunderstood, and a hindrance to other, more clear forms of identification of this thing many are finding as far too ponderous as to be called a self. As you feel your feet make contact with the concrete of this high street pavement, you look up, and on a bench is a man in an old, worn coat, passed out, sleeping. This man has led a life which few have felt compelled to pursue. He is uncomfortable in dwellings, unable to cope with human interaction, unable to connect meaningfully with most he encounters, and he has been prone, this life, to provoking hatred, judgment and ridicule in others. He has enjoyed as a release, alcohol, for he learned quite early that alcohol, on magical occasions which often turn messy, and which have shortened his considerably hard life, he has learned that alcohol, his dear friend, his consoler, induces spin. This ancient understands much, and has found a way to communicate much without saying a word, while taking rest on this bench. The spin induced with many forms of pleasure-seeking behavior is central, core, to your beingness. Within the spin is the language of source, it is a prime directive, a word which seems so very innocent, hardly worthy of discussion, but which will, one day, assist in ushering a new understanding of the laws of physics, shall we say. We repeat, Spin is the all, and the all is spin, and this man who is disadvantaged socially, economically and emotionally is the one individual in this busy scene who is perhaps closer to the truth of things as they are, and not how they appear. That he has abandoned all hopes that the others will or indeed can reach out to him in kindness and brotherhood, en masse, and see him for the wizard he is the daily crucifixion he endures, we tell you now. We ask you to see that there are grander themes afoot than mere social restructuring, and although we are perhaps tickling memories of times gone by and times yet to come, we stand here today with you observing this busy street, this busy metropolis, teeming with individual consciousnesses who have, by their choice, screened from their perception more purpose and benevolence, more belonging and unity, than can be expressed linearly. Some know of the power of the one, of the spin, and have chosen to live not as monks, or as outcasts, but as workers, mothers, teachers, massage therapists, all manner of professions are represented in this, your own tribe, the ones you have traveled with through time, from humanity's start, to this, your new world. Of course, it might be plain to you that many reading are brothers of the man on the bench, you see. That he interpreted his gifts in his way is a beautiful, a stark and courageous creation. In other cultures, those who understand spin, perhaps too well to function among men, they dress in orange, and go from moment to moment supported culturally, and are not bombarded with the filth of hate that coats our friend napping on the bench. How far is his experience to yours, how close? And do you understand by asking such a question, the separation implied is refuted, negated, because there is, after all, an entity, a consciousness, making these comparisons, playing these little tricks of light within the brain, mind, heart and soul of humanity. However, ours is not to merely point out man's inhumanity to man. You know, do you not, all too well, this syndrome, this madness which permeates the thinking and actions of those who do not understand as yet that they are divine, connected with and never separated from the all. We review it here, and leave it to rest, leave it to sleep and to awaken understanding. This was a dream, a projection of consciousness, a little game which was played for the benefit of all. We wish to begin and end with the heart. We wish to help you to know that yours is to love self, to understand unshakably, physically, shall we say, but more, soul level, how worthy you are of this love. Is it not the truth, that when a ball is thrown, if there is no mitt to catch it, it falls, no longer active participant in the game, a footnote, a placeholder, a statistic? And yet, if there is a mitt to catch this fine falling ball, then the game continues, motion continues, endeavor continues. We give you this analogy to understand that this great love, which is a pale word for what is being expressed, to be sure, is being thrown to you, for you to continue the game, every day, every moment, you see. There are other analogies, just as apt, which we could use, but settle on the radio, as this was given to all in a wave of consciousness, a download, so to speak, before the great shift. Radios are apt metaphors, and rich as well, but we settled on a sliver of it, saying that the radio transmissions which some are now tuning to have been there all the time. There has never been a break, a fall, a dip, in the consciousness of the all. This is projection, understandable, but projection only. The radio signal has been beaming for millions, billions, yes, of years, and now, it is being heard, because the cloud, so to speak, which clogged transmission has loosened, lightened, the weave is less tight, and more cohesion may reach you uninterrupted. Please, we say in closing, understand the intense benevolence and belonging implied in such a message. Why would a message be beamed, so to speak, for eternity, so to speak, unless it was capable of being understood? And, perhaps this might just be the originator of the reality you are currently so invested in, but these questions cannot even be considered if the broadcast is not heard. We tell you that this broadcast is as much intuitive as it is physical. Many are finding the blending occurring, allows an ease in manifesting physically that which they have long desired, but we tell you that even this is so grandly cooperative and on such a huge scale, that it is just so important to remind each loved one reading along or listening, please hear us as we gently come in closer, As we, with your permission, slip our hands into yours, and we whisper as a loving mother to an adored child, "Dear one, you are known by God, by the All, you are known and you are loved beyond measure." And this message must be broadcast, our loved one, due only to the incarnative reality you are participating in. Thank you for your service, and understand, the veils you encounter are something you have agreed to take on and then shed this lifetime. Not to fight against, but to dissolve with self-reverence. We leave you by telling you this central truth, a truth we began explaining to the channel last afternoon as she was walking down the hallway at work. We make this aside to celebrate and examine, for those of you participating, how this is done. Intuitively, a thought group, an idea, comes, and it is interesting. It may be sharp or dull, but will be something which cannot be fully explained as originating within the tasks or thoughts of the perceive. A thought or idea flashes, words may even be heard or intuited. And then we leave, and let it all bubble up. Each of you have your own way of coping with this, different names for it, rituals to induce it, plants which, when ingested, make such experiences more accessible. Be aware of these thoughts when they come to you, incongruent, light, happy, interesting, new thinking. We are saying hello, checking in, loving you. You are greeting yourself in ground love. And so, what follows is what we gave to her that day in an abbreviated form. We expand it and offer this as our gift to you this day. With it we close, and do so gratified that we do not leave you now, but we simply modify our energy patterns appropriately. Self-love has been acculturated to be evil at worst, immature at best, but completely unvalidated and misunderstood. Self-love is not selfishness. Selfishness is the lack of self-love. Self-love is not irresponsible. It is the act of someone who stands in alignment with their core, impeccably, with integrity and honor. This, of course, is the heights of acting, being, responsible, yes. Self-love is not defined well by humans because it has not been experienced in the mass consciousness for many ages. The sort of self-love we are speaking of is the one many of you are beginning to play with. Of course, one can imagine a holy man standing, arms down, palms out, smiling, the very essence of balance and harmony emanating from him. His life and his teachings, however he might have been known, may inspire. You may adopt such a stance with your fellow man day to day, to ease communications and transmute conflicts, but, see, you may feel able to embody such love, if only for a moment, with this burning desire to reach out and touch and heal and love another. But we must ask you, in parting, a very important and provocative question. This bodhisattvic energy of deep love and devotion for humanity, for others, for the project, have you ever truly, with great biological buy-in, have you ever turned this burning imperative, this primal need to give, this great light you give to others, have you turned it, pivoted it, glided it so that it faces you, and shines on you? We ask you consider doing that this fine day, just once, and tell you that even thinking on doing it, we say, has curative properties. You might surprise yourself at how much can be healed, when imagining this great lighthouse you are so proud to be, beaming such pure love for humanity, when this beam, when you are willing, when this beam turns, spirals and you once again place this beam on your own self, all yourselves, all incarnations, all behaviors, all words and deeds, emotions, dreams, aspirations, disappointments, all of it, beam this to you with the same intent you hold for others, that of divine cleansing, of helping lift the burden of the veil, lightening the human heart. Oh, our dear ones, it is breathtaking, to be in the beam of such love. We understand that this is the last of the frontiers of linearity, and turning in this way, pivoting, spiraling, and finally shining that which you are into your current awareness, this heals all. We can tell you forever that you are loved. We have. We always will, for it is the truth, and we cannot speak falsehoods. However, your own ability to love has been withheld by the transmitter, consciously, and we ask you to consider changing this situation. We are in deep reverence, for what you continue to accomplish as a group, as a unified field of endeavor and devotion, and we are never in absence. Please understand the truth of this message this day, to the best of your ability, if this is a message of resonance. We ask you to love yourselves as much as you love the others, the planet, the all. Do it with abandon, with joy, with relief and with certainty that letting your guard down and doing such a thing can result in nothing but more of the same, within and without, without end. Selah.